All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Loyalist, and this is Colts Law. And today we are going to be discussing the tight end room for the Indianapolis Colts 2021 NFL season. And basically, we know what our three tight ends are going to be. We have other tight ends on the roster, but we know who's going to make the 53. And those are the three guys that we're going to be discussing today. Unless Loyalist wants to go deeper into some of the other guys, but I think the three guys that we have currently is probably the best route of discussing, because there are some differences of opinions about some of these players that we have. And while we're here, I want to thank everybody who is joining here on the live stream. If you make it now, great. Please don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell so that you're notified next time I go live. And if you're watching afterwards, do the same thing, because if you're watching afterwards, maybe don't have all notifications turned on and missed it. Maybe hit subscribe and turn those notifications on so that you are here and can join in the live chat, because as everybody knows, I am very interactive with the live chat and discuss things with everybody, whether you're a Colts fan, whether you're a NFL fan, whether you don't even like football and just want to talk smack, I'll still interact with you. I don't care. That's just how I am. Loyalist, introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about you and where they could find you, because, there might be some people on here that don't know who you are.
I'm a diehard Colts fan since '84. You can find me on Twitter under Colts Loyalist, or you can find me here a lot of times. I'm trying to talk you into having me every day. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are my co-host now, and we do discuss things a lot. But there are some times when I'm going to have my own stuff. I'm hoping at some point that we'll have you be able to upload your own videos onto the channel, and you can just talk stuff on your own. But that'll be at another time when I can sit down and teach how to do that occasionally. Yeah. Guys, don't forget, if you're watching this and you want to donate, help support my channel, please don't forget, check out the links in the description. The top one right there that you'll see is a donation link. Much like the super chat, rather you use that rather than the YouTube super chat, because what's up, Company Eagles? Appreciate you there. I do like the subject as well, but I get more than twice as much of the money. YouTube takes over half if you use a super chat there. And if you use my Streamlabs link, not only will I get more money from the donation, but you could donate it after the stream is over. And then the next time I upload a video or go live, I can discuss it, because it is captured and it'll be right there on the other side of Loyalist, where you see, donations and things like that, and I will bring it up. So just want to let you know. Don't forget also, there is a link to my Patreon. It's only $5 a month. These are all the guys who are my patron supporters. You get all of my stuff there, including specific uploads to Patreon, and when I join other people's stuff, like Bring the Juice. Only $5 a month. Very, very simple. It's only like the cost of two liters of soda, a month. I assume you can afford that. I can. Appreciate everybody. Don't forget, there's also a link to my merch shop. Make sure to check out the Colts Law merch shop. The link is in the description of this video. There are a ton of high quality, reasonably priced items there that you can choose from. And all you got to do is just click one button, and you can go and check out all these great merchandise items. Alpha Wolf, What's up, John Davis, Nano 505, Colts talk and more. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you being here. Don't forget, smash that like button, as I said earlier. Now, let's get into the tight end room. Who are you most excited about seeing this upcoming season? Who are you hoping will have the biggest year among those three tight ends that we have for the Indianapolis Colts?
Well, you know me, I'm more leaning towards the veteran players, people who have been in the system. I mean, I can't wait to see Kylan and how much he absorbs and picks up this year. But for me, it's Mo Alie-Cox. I think this year has a potential to really help him fill out his repertoire, or whatever you want to say, and I really think that this year, as far as taking that step forward, I mean, I think we know what we got with Jack. Jack's been here. The stuff that he offers is amazing. But I think Mo Alie-Cox, as far as taking that exciting leap or progression, I think that is probably the guy that I'm most interested out of the three to check out.
Awesome. All right, we're going to talk about Mo Alie-Cox then in just a moment. I want to shout out Culture Shock for kind of directing people here. Appreciate you. See you in the live chat. Thanks so much. I was just on his show not a half an hour ago, talking about the offensive line and other stuff of that nature. So shout out to him. If you're not a subscriber to Culture Shock, please go and check him out on YouTube and on Twitter, and make sure you subscribe to him as well. Great Colts information. Now, let's go look at Mo Alie-Cox and what he is, his current status. Last year, kind of a little bit of a breakout year, kind of disappeared second half of the season, but earlier on in the season, he had a lot of good targets, made a lot of good plays. Total targets, 39, which is more than his rookie and second year combined, where he only had 13 targets in 2018, and in 2019 he only had 11 targets. 39 targets last year. Of those 39, he had 31 catches. That's pretty impressive, right? About 400 yards receiving, and what's important is the quarterback rating when the quarterback targeted him was a 104.5. That's what you want to see, over a 100 quarterback rating whenever someone is targeting you. That's huge. He had a drop percentage of only 2.6, which is much better than some of the other tight ends that we've had in the past, like Eric Ebron or Trey Burton. And I agree with you. I think that he's very good in the run game when it comes to run blocking, but in the pass game, he's just a mismatch, right? Huge body, ex-basketball player, right? And can jump up, leap. If you've seen the thumbnail on this video, it's him just reaching up, straight up over his head, grabbing the touchdown pass. It was absolute beautiful play against the Raiders. My question to you is, what was the best one-handed catch against the Raiders? Was it Mo Alie-Cox's touchdown, or was it that interception from Kenny Moore last season?
Interception. Anytime you can stop them and turn around and give you possession, I'll take it.
I'll have to agree, but I'll tell you what, that Mo Alie-Cox touchdown catch was pretty impressive. I really like that a lot. What's going on, Alpha Wolf? Appreciate you being here as well. But yeah, I'm expecting big things out of Mo Alie-Cox this year, especially since, again, we have a quarterback who's mobile. Most likely won't need to hold the tight ends as much as we did last year for an immobile Phillip Rivers. So you will see guys like the next guy we're getting ready to talk about, the veteran that you know, always about the veterans. They're going to be able to go out and be more of that receiving tight end when they need to in passing downs. And talking about Jack Doyle, give me your thoughts on him.
Okay. I think Jack Doyle is probably, you have the Walter Payton Man of the Year award and stuff. I feel like Jack Doyle could be a Colts representative of that every year.
Mm-hmm.
With what he does on the field and the way, look at the personalities he's dealt with over the last several years with your Ebron. And then you have your Mo Alie-Cox, who had never even played a snap. I mean, I just watched the room ever since Jack sort of taken the lead in that room. And it's constant. It's like last year, you sit there and you talk, oh, Jack Doyle's numbers are falling off, Jack Doyle this. But, man, you look and see the things that he does that just don't come up on a track sheet or on the infamous PFF rating scale. I mean, I just, like I said, I am like a super fan of Jack Doyle. I feel like he's sort of like that Lyman mentality, just in a taller, leaner body frame.
All right, so I want to talk about Jack Doyle and why he is so good. Now, first off, people want to bring up Jack Doyle's average per year, that he only gets like 250 yards receiving a year, and they want to hang their hat on that and say, well, he's not a productive tight end for paying a guy $7 million a year. What you forget is his first 3 seasons are part of that, and he was the third tight end during those years, right? Behind Kobe Fleener, behind Allen, right? And he wasn't a starter at that point. He didn't become a starter until 2016. And in 2016, when he became a starter, he ended up 75 targets, 600 yards. 2017, right? He had 108 targets for 700 yards. In 2018, he was injured after week 6. All right, so you've seen the drop off because he only played 6 games. But then in 2019, he had about 450 yards receiving. And then in 2020, he had this massive drop off where he only had 251 yards. But think about this. He only had 33 targets at 251 yards. That's 11 yards a reception, okay? Also, not a single drop last year. The man has the best of any tight end over the last 5 seasons, the best drop rate percentage, as in the lowest drop rate percentage of any tight end who has averaged at least 50 receptions over the past 5 seasons. That is impressive as heck. Now, another thing you want to talk about, we want to talk about quarterback. I bring this up all the time. We talked about Mo Alie-Cox and how he was over 100 quarterback rating when targeted, 104.5. Last year, even though Jack Doyle had to be held in to block the majority of the time, he went out when he was targeted those 33 times. The quarterback rating was better than anyone else on the team. Naheem Hines, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman Jr., didn't matter who it was. Phillip Rivers had a 122.2 quarterback rating when targeting Jack Doyle when he went out for receptions. That's unbelievable. That's as good as you could possibly hope to get for anyone in the receiving game. And we're going to see that more often because he's not going to, like we said, same with Mo Alie-Cox, he's not going to have to sit in there and block for Carson Wentz all the time. Now, early in the season, until Eric Fisher comes back, he may have to do a few chipping occasionally on the edge with Sam Tebby being there, as Culture Shock and I discussed earlier today on his show. But that doesn't mean he's not going to go out for receiving targets. A quick chip and then going out, he's still going out on routes. Whereas last year with Phillip Rivers, he's stuck inside there helping out full time because they were running the ball a lot more and Rivers needed that extra protection. What are your expectations of Jack Doyle this season?
Okay, for me, like you said, I love the fact that now this year, last year you didn't have to worry about Jack Doyle leaving the protection scheme. He was locked in pretty much. I don't know the percentage, but I would have to say it was somewhere around the 70%, of having to protect Rivers because, like you said, he didn't get out of the pocket, or if he did, he wasn't getting anywhere fast. And the thing with Doyle is, I think he is like wrongfully underrated about a route runner. Jack Doyle, between his footwork and his intelligence and just his experience that he's gotten over his 8-9 year career, I mean, the dude gets open, and he doesn't get open just during, the junk play time. You know what I mean? He gets open when it matters. And like you said, the consistency. I mean, you know that you can plan around a player like Jack Doyle because he's consistent year in and year out. You don't have to worry about, is that chip block going to be, I mean, he doesn't just come up and brush up against him like you see some of these, tight end number threes or whatever. I mean, he lays the wood on him. And then he's like, okay, now I'll go and gain 15 yards on you too. Like I said, I think when I think of Jack Doyle and where he is right now, I like to think of people like your Jason Wittens or your Greg Olsons that just, I mean, they're not the quote passing, the receiving tight end. I mean, they're the all-purpose tight end. And I just absolutely think that is such an underrated quality. And like I said, the consistency and the way you can just sit there and plan around it. People sit there and are talking about him getting older. I mean, his game isn't based on being explosive. You know what I mean? His game outside of his blocking, I mean, but you're not going to lose that through age, okay? You might lose a little foot speed, but it's not how slow do you get down the field. It's where are you on the field in relationship to everybody. And Jack Doyle is amazing at finding all those little nuances in the zone and stuff to make himself valuable to the team.
Oh, yeah, what you just brought up right there, being basically a safety blanket for his quarterbacks, no matter who's at quarterback. I mean, he's getting ready to see his fourth quarterback in 4 years, and he is known for being that guy that, quarterback's in trouble. He's able to find that open spot, and the quarterback can get rid of it really quickly because he's right there in front of the quarterback in an open zone, able to make that catch. It may not be a 30-yard reception, but at least it's a positive play in a situation that has broke down and the quarterback needs to dump the football off. That's why a safety blanket is so important. And it's also so important of why both these guys are good all-around tight ends, because when they're in the game, the Colts could be running the football or passing the football. You cannot hang your hat on either one of them. Whereas some of these passing tight ends, like when Trey Burton was you weren't expecting him to go out there and lay wood on anybody on a running down. You weren't expecting him to stay inside and help block when it was going to be a passing play. He was going out for a route. You have no idea what Jack Doyle and Mo Alie-Cox are going to do when they're on the field. They could do just about anything, which makes them difficult to plan around when you're a defense. Ant Rogers, what's up? Appreciate you being here. My OG original Patreon supporter. Appreciate you being here. Anthony Hurt, thank you. And Nomadic Brian. Yes, it has been a very busy day with all the people that, all the streams that I've joined and doing this one as well. I'm glad that you got to see them all.
I'm just glad you saved the best for last.
Right? Yeah. me and Loyalist. That's what we're here for. So, guys, I see we got 13 viewers in here. Appreciate each and every one of you. Please don't forget to smash that like button. And if you have a social media or something and you want to help support this more than just, smashing the like button, that little button right beneath Colts Loyalist where it says share, you can click that, copy that to just copy the link and then post it to any of your social medias or blogs or anything of that nature. I would really appreciate it because exposure is the best thing to help me out, and you are the guys that can do it. So appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for the like, company. Appreciate that a lot. Let's talk about the final guy, Kylan Granson, the rookie that the Indianapolis Colts picked up. What are your thoughts on him?
Like I said, the way he reacted to your question, I watched him on Bring the Juice, the way he handled that interview with those fellas. Just, he has that it thing, he just has that. I don't see that his first year he's going to have that, ooh, I'm in the NFL, type of, everybody does, but I don't think it's going to be too big for him to react to. You know what I mean? And the thing is you look at this room that, when we talked about, you come into this room and you've got Jack Doyle and Mo Alie-Cox, who you're not going to find anybody that's going to want you to succeed any more than those two guys. You know what I mean? They really, like I said, since Jack's come into the room, he has made he's helped create a position room that's just, I mean, Kylan Granson's got to be just tickled to death saying, hey, this is right where I need to be, because like you said, he's got that electricity. He's got that confidence or swagger or whatever you want to call it, that I'm just very interested to see him come out, prove some of the naysayers wrong in the blocking department and stuff. But like you said, just the fact that he can stretch the field, he's not going to go down at first contact. I'm just very amped up to see where he comes at the beginning of the year and then to see where he ends up at the end of the year. I think we're going to see somebody that goes through the right progression that you would hope for a rookie.
Yeah, he's walking into a locker room that is really specifically built for him. Coming out of college, you got two guys in Mo Alie-Cox and Jack Doyle, as you say, very unselfish, right? They will do everything that they can to help you succeed. And they're not going to be fighting for targets all the time because they know that they can do multiple things. And I think Kylan is in a very good situation to succeed with Indy. I'm a lover of Kylan Granson. I think he's going to be a very good player. Do I think he's going to be the breakout player at the tight end position this year for the Indianapolis Colts? Probably not. I think that he has the ability to make big plays. I think he comes into the NFL with the ability to block. But I think he's got two guys in front of him that have established themselves somewhat already. And that's going to kind of hold him back a little bit. But, I mean, come on. I mean, it's not like Kylan has to show everything his first year anyhow. So he's going to bring an addition and a wrinkle to the Colts that will be a welcome wrinkle that the Colts haven't seen. A receiving tight end that also can block. Like I said, Eric Ebron, he was a receiving tight end, but didn't really block that well. Trey Burton, receiving tight end, didn't really block that well. Kylan Granson, I feel like, comes into the NFL not only willing, but able to block, and will get better at blocking now that he's at the NFL level and will have NFL level coaching. So,
another thing that I like about him fitting in with this team is he comes in and he doesn't have any pressures. Okay. I mean, maybe from the fans, we're all like, yeah, we want to see, you know what I mean? But honestly, from the organization, just from everything, the team, I mean, with the wide receivers and all the plethora of options that we have there, the other running backs and the other tight ends that we have talked about. I mean, he's going to come in there, and I can't imagine any team that's going to sit there and say, okay, I mean, they're not even going to play. I mean, he's going to walk out there, and he's going to be the fifth or sixth option that they're worried about defending, which for me, from what I've seen from his film work, that's going to open up opportunities for him to, put together an to put together a solid rookie year.
Yeah, I see that. I don't see 800 yards for Kylan Granson this year. No. But I do see games very much similar to the way Mo Alie-Cox was last year, where there will be games where that he will take over because he will be the forgotten guy on the Colts offense, because, they're too worried about the running game or T.Y. Hilton or Michael Pittman or Paris Campbell's out there catching the ball like crazy, because he stays healthy, hopefully. Mo Alie-Cox and Jack Doyle are out there. He's going to be that last option, really, that a defense will be worried about covering. So you're absolutely right.
And they're going to be so spread out by the time that, Carson finds him or whatever. You've already stated, but I mean, the guy does not go down on first contact. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So now he's catching this ball. He's got one person to either beat or run over. And then, who knows if it's going to end up being a 15 or a 45-yard play.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been 25 minutes in, and it is time to get into the live chat like I normally do every live stream, and it's a little early. Generally, it's around half hour, 40 minutes. but we only had 3 guys to talk about today. So as I get in, Company Eagle says he's really excited about the rookie. A lot of people are. Larry Brown, thanks for being here. Larry, come back and coach the Pacers, because you were great when you were coaching with the Pacers. That was one of the best. Oh, sorry. Okay. Keeping on going through here. Company Eagle says Mo is a gem and has something to show this season. I absolutely agree. Nano says that he thinks that Cox is going to have a good year. I do. And so does Colts Talking More. Everybody is excited about Mo Alie-Cox. Even PFF, had him ranked very high this season because of what he did last year. Mo Alie-Cox, I think, is kind of unanimous that he is that breakout tight end that the Colts have that should do very well now that he doesn't have to hold in and block for Phillip Rivers this year. And we all know that Carson Wentz loves his tight ends. He's had Zach Ertz his whole, career. So maybe Mo Alie-Cox can be that Zach Ertz for him.
I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
For you, what is more important? Are you more interested in Jack Doyle and Mo Alie-Cox's numbers, or are you more interested in what the room does at that position more so?
When you have a deep room, it's more about what the position group itself does, in my opinion. It's similar to what we discussed on Monday about the wide receivers, right? Mm-hmm. You could have a number 1 guy, and that's fine. But if you have 3 number 2s or 4 number 2s, then you can't cover everybody. Now, that doesn't mean that, they are only number 2 receivers that they can't take over a game and be that guy that, a quarterback can rely upon to go to when he needs to. That's not what we're talking about. But with Jack Doyle, Mo Alie-Cox, and Granson, the same way with the wide receivers, I'd like to see them as a group do very well. Get over 1,200 yards as a group receiving. I think that would be solid. And that would make it very difficult, like you say, when we have multiple tight end formations. Who are you going to cover? If they decide to go pass out of that play look. So yeah, I like more of the group. I'm always more of a group mentality than I am an individual player. Now, obviously, quarterback being a situation where the individual needs to outperform the group, because you generally have only one guy sitting there being the starter. But yeah, that's how I feel about that.
And the nice thing about this year's lineup of the 3 guys is you don't have anybody that comes in and is super deficient like we did when Ebron. I mean, you knew when Ebron was on the field, okay, he's not going to be a blocking tight end in any way, shape, or form. So that's where that's when I'm more worried about, okay, does this guy get enough receptions, enough yards, enough touchdowns to make up for his deficiencies? With this, like you said, with this group, you can sit there and have any 3 of them plug and play once Granson gets up to speed and stuff. That, the numbers as a group is more important because they all do the same, just in different levels.
Yeah. Ant says, we have a lot of skill position players that can block well, too. The run game should flourish. Absolutely. All 3 of our tight ends are decent at running, at run blocking, and we got a couple wide receivers that are going to get a lot of snaps just because they can also run block exceptionally well in Michael Pittman Jr. and Zach Pascal. So those guys will see a lot of snaps just because they can run block on the perimeter and help turn a 5-yard run into like a 15-yard run because they take the safety of the cornerback out of the play. So absolutely, I love that about the Indianapolis Colts and how they're built. Really, mainly, they're built to be a run-first team, and then use that for play action. And I think that could really come in big this season. I think as opposed to last year when Phillip Rivers just didn't have that cannon of an arm to take advantage of the deep ball play action pass. So, yeah.
And another thing that is about like Jack, he is really good at pull blocking. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There is nothing more impressive. You see him leave the left side a little weak, and then you see Quentin and Doyle both coming around the edge. I mean, our running backs are just like, "Whoa." You know what I mean? It's like field for days with these guys because they are extremely good at blocking on the move and not just being a shielder, but like I said, being maulers, being people that just clear a path.
Oh, here's a little something. I don't know if you guys watched my film room on Kylan Granson. If you haven't, after this stream, I suggest you go do it. All right, because I highlight his blocking hardcore. This man played. A lot of Colts wanted to see Roosevelt Nix on the team last year. And I said I didn't think he'd make the 53, and I was right. And I did a film room on it to show why he just wasn't the same player. But it was because the Colts have not had a true fullback in years, right? Kylan Granson played the fullback position a lot in his college career. And, came out lead blocking from the fullback position a lot. So you might see situations where Kylan Granson is lined up in a 2 tight end formation or something, and then Kylan be called back by Carson to be the fullback lead blocker on a run play. That is something fully expect because Kylan is used to playing that fullback position as well. So keep an eye out on that. Back in here, Company Eagle says 3 tight end sets will be very interesting to see when used. And absolutely. Could you imagine? I think I don't remember, was it BD? I think it was Bring the Juice that I discussed this on today. The Colts are deep enough at tight end and running back where they could have 3 tight ends, 2 running backs, 2 tight ends, 3 running backs formations and be able to run or pass out of either of those formations. And there's not many teams out there that can do something like that. The variety and diversity of the players that we have at each positional skill group is absolutely amazing of what the Colts have. I'm not saying that their skill level on an individual basis is amazing, but the diversity of what they can do from those skill positions is top notch.
Yeah. Could you imagine if you brought in 3 backs in the backfield, whether it's Granson as your 3rd back or not, but then your 2 tight ends, and then with the running backs that we have, and then like you said with the diversity that we have from the tight ends, I can't imagine what a defensive coordinator would be like. Okay, what are we keying on? You know what I mean? It'd be like, okay, yeah, everybody's going to stack the box, but that's when you have, you got JT shooting off that way, and you got Naheem going off that way, and you got Mo Alie just going to moss somebody down the seam. I just, like I said, with Frank Reich and his ability to find situations or create situations to put these guys in a position to win, I can't imagine. I say this almost every show I know, but I just can't imagine trying to be a defensive coordinator and game planning and trying to sort out where or what is it that you focus on.
All right, so Ant Rogers brings up a really good point, and I'm going to kind of dive into that a little. But he says he thinks that the RPO game will be good as well, which has been pretty non-existent with the Colts for a long time. And that is a good point. And when it comes to the tight ends, this is why having good blocking tight ends along with being able to catch is so important in the RPO because as Carson is doing the run play action part of it, they can go in, forcefully be blocking, right? Not going out for routes, forcefully blocking. And then when it comes to both the run, whether it's a 2-run option, then go to the pass, or just one option and then rolling out, for a bootleg or a naked or something, either way, they could forcefully block and then slip past that blocker.
Yes.
Right? because, whoever's coming in or is trying to get into the backfield, they've easily slipped past them when they're blocking hard, and I just lost everything. What happened there? I lost my internet.
I don't know. You just froze.
Yeah, I lost internet for a moment. That was weird. It says that my internet connection is very, very low, and I don't know why. All right. So this might end up ending here pretty soon. But yeah, in RPO situations, the Colts can definitely have the tight ends, since they can block. They could slip past the guys that they're blocking and catch the ball behind them and end up with big play yardage afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine Mo Alie-Cox being the guy that does that? And then he's got 15 yards to get a head start running these guys over.
Yeah, right? Exactly. That one guy. What's up? What is your opinion on Golden Tate? Do you see the Colts bringing in him? No. I have yet to do a stream about that. I'm going to go ahead and discuss Golden Tate right now. I do not think that the Colts need Golden Tate. I think Golden Tate needs the Colts more than the Colts need Golden Tate. And I mentioned this on Culture Shock earlier, but I will go ahead and do it here on my stream so that my followers can hear my thoughts about it. Multiple reasons why I don't want Golden Tate on the Colts. One, he doesn't bring anything to the Colts that they don't already have. He is a smaller receiver who's quick and able to run routes well. Well, we got T.Y. Hilton for that. Okay? That's period. A guy who could catch over the middle and do yards after the catch. We have Paris Campbell, if he could stay healthy, to do that. He does not bring the big-bodied possession 50-50 receiver like we already have in Pascal and Pittman. Another reason why I don't want him on the team is we are already not he's 32 years old, okay? So he's not going to be a really good receiver for much longer. And if we sign him, that's going to push back the depth of the young guys that we need to see. Doolin, DeMichael Harris, Michael Strawn, guys like that they won't make the team then because there's going to be one less spot at the wide receiver position. These young guys are what will be filling out rosters later on, right, to develop them. And if they can't make the team to get reps, then you can't develop them. And so I'm thinking long-term rather than short-term. Would he help the Colts this year more than any of those three guys? Maybe. But 3 years down the road, or the year after, I think you would rather had the ability to hold on to some of these guys that you have a lot of hopes in and see them develop through the years.
Yeah, sorry, this is like, yeah, like I agree 100%. And when you hear people sit there and say, "Well, he's not going to ask for much money. He's going to take the veteran minimum." And first off, I hope you're not his agent, because there is nothing that's yes, that's as a fan that's what we think that but I would have to imagine that him and being the veteran that he is and stuff. Why would he take like you said, a spot 5 or 6 on a roster for a league minimum? It just, and like you said, he doesn't provide enough upside for this year to counteract the negative reaction. Because say he gets 15 plays a game, we've already discussed how hard it is going to be to get people their touches and get people their catch opportunities. So now you're telling me you're going to take 15 plays away from these younger people that, like you said, we need them to get tested. We need them to go out and make their mistakes and grow and mature. And you're going to get that on the field. You're not going to get that nearly as good being the 4th or 5th guy just in practice.
Yep. Gardaki's Playground, thanks for joining the stream, man. Appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. What's going on, Swaggy? Thanks for being here as well. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm about to end this stream. It's been 40 minutes. Generally I run an hour, but I'm kind of feeling like the steam is starting to exit. I've been doing live streams with other people today as well. I think we've covered a lot, especially when it comes to the tight ends. I got a little bit of information out about Golden Tate. I appreciate everyone that's in the stream. Don't forget, if you want to donate to my channel, then there's a link right down below, as well as my Patreon, as well as my merch shop. Please smash that like button. Help me out here. Smash the like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell so you're notified next time I go live or upload a video. What's up, Delusional Patriots fan? Appreciate you being here. Loyalist, thank you so much for coming on and giving your thoughts on the Colts tight ends today. It was a pleasure discussing the Indianapolis Colts again with you, and hopefully we will be back in the next couple days, maybe tomorrow or Sunday. You know, since I don't have the basketball league to cover anymore, I might be able to do this a little bit more often. So I enjoy doing these streams with everybody and appreciate what. And then we get a super sticker as I'm exiting by Ross. What is up, Ross? Thank you.
And I would like to say something to all the listeners. Guys, we need 5 more people in this Patreon. Lawrence has been telling you, but I mean, he's got a lot of cool things that he's talking about doing with the Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't working hard enough, guys. Let's get them 5 people in there so we can see where we're going to go. Let's get this extra videos and stuff.
Yeah. I got 10 people in my Patreon. If I have 15 Patreons supporters, then I will start doing live streams with Patreon only, where they can actually join the stream if they want, and talk just about anything you want. It don't have to be football. It don't have to be Colts. It could be you could talk about your favorite fast food restaurant. I don't care. Ross says, have a good day, bud. There's some gas money, bro. Man, you are awesome. I really appreciate that. Ross is the boy that helped me out big time. He is someone that I have a lot in common with. We both like fantasy novels and things of that nature. He is a Patriots fan, though, but he donated a ton of money to help get my transmission fixed for my truck so I could take that job with the Indy Express. So shout out to Ross here on my channel. Appreciate you so much. Thanks so much. Guys, I am going to be out. I got to go. I have food sitting here for the past 45 minutes. Actually, over 45. Over 45 minutes now that it's been getting cold. It's time for me to eat. But drop questions in the chat, in the comment section underneath this video about anything. Any comments, questions, anything. You have suggestions for a film room, drop it in there. If you want to discuss something, drop it in there. If, like I said, man, I'm all about interacting with you guys one way or another. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Loyalist. And as usual, have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.